Good morning, brave thinking dream builders, and welcome to the November 25th copy calibration with me, Kristina Swanson, the trainer. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you had your favorite morning beverage. For my international crew, I hope you had your afternoon or evening beverage. And I'm just so happy and grateful to have you here with me today. Today is our final installment on gratitude. All through the month of November, we've been talking about the power of gratitude and having gratitude in the situation that you're in, regardless of the circumstances, conditions that you might be experiencing, and a whole lot of other meaty stuff. Go back and watch the recordings if you missed any of those so that you can absorb all the content. Always delivered as brilliantly as I can and pretty much imperfectly, but my goal is just to genuinely give you the information I think will serve you the best. And above all, I hope that every week you participate in the calibration exercise that I do. I invite you to bring a pen and paper and to put yourself in a quiet space where you won't have any distractions. Set your phone aside. And so I'll ask you to set your phone aside right now. And let's all just write into the chat. Where are you coming in from today? And maybe what's your morning beverage? Awesome. Liz, good to see you from New York. Glad you could make it on a Monday morning with your busy schedule. Absolutely. Yeah. Carol, nice to see you. I hope you're feeling well today. And Lucy, how are you enjoying Florida? It just, yeah. Dream achieved moment for Lucy. She just moved into her new home in an over 55 community in Florida that she is just thrilled about. So congratulations. What a step up in your life. Yeah, dream come true moment. So happy and grateful that you guys are all here. We're going to start, as always, by generating a state of gratitude. And in a moment, I want you guys to all come up with a few things. And as I said, I hope you have a pen and paper handy because I want you to be able to write these down. They're going to help you throughout the week. And if you have your calendar handy, that'll be awesome too. But what we're going to do to begin with is just bring ourselves into the present moment by focusing on something that we're grateful for, something that we're proud of, and for just being us and being authentic in this moment. So I invite you to close your eyes with me and know that as we come together every week and we practice this very important skill of being able to generate an energetic state, that this is really important because it helps us to control our vibration. The reason that we do this is to become practiced at it, right? We want to be fluent in our ability to calibrate or adjust our personal energy in any moment that we're in, regardless of the situations, circumstances, or conditions that we're experiencing. Because we know that when our thoughts are not what we would like them to be, and we know this because we're feeling something that we don't want to feel, right? Our thoughts cause our feelings. We are not in harmony with something that we would absolutely love. And so at that point, you really need to pause. And this is really the first key that we teach in the Dreambuilder program. And it's the key of all of Mary Morrissey's teachings. And it is notice what you're noticing. Notice what you're noticing. We are the only mammals, beings on this planet that have the ability of metacognition. That means that we can actually think about the thoughts that we're having. Okay. And so the reason it's important for us to know that is because in that space between the thought and the feeling, you can choose to respond rather than react. And when you do that, you can change your actions and your results. And when that happens, everything in your life can happen. It's rigorous work, takes training, it takes help, but it can be done. Miraculous things can happen when you learn to create this notice what you're noticing mindset. Okay. So as we're doing this, I'm also, of course, going to invite you to start to breathe in, but you breathe in through your nose. And then I want you to breathe out through your mouth as if you're blowing through the straw. Let's do this several times. In through our noses and out through our mouths like we're breathing through a straw. Okay. And as we're doing this slowly, we are calibrating our nervous system. And as we add to this a feeling of gratitude for something that we are grateful for, then it starts to raise our vibration to that vibration of gratitude, which is one of the highest vibrations there is. Okay, so we want to make sure in this moment, as you're continuing to breathe with your eyes closed, that you start to think of what it is that you are most grateful for today. Okay. Now, I also want to have you add to that a proud of. And we add a proud of to it because it amplifies the vibration of synergy between the gratitude and the action. That is the rocket fuel that helps propel you forward. That's because the proud of acknowledges the part of us that has taken action, the part of us that is in human form and can take action to serve our vision. And we know this, that taking action, of course, is not a given. We're not always going to take action. We have the gift of free will, right? That means that in order for us to take an action, we need to use our mental faculty of will, okay, by giving ourselves a command and following through with action. And it is important to acknowledge the part of us that takes action by naming something that we're proud of. So as you're breathing, you have your eyes closed, you know what you're grateful for. What are you proud of today? What are you proud of? I am grateful, first of all, for the fact that you guys are here with me, that I'm here serving you. I'm grateful for my ability to share with you my skills and my learnings, because I feel like my cup runneth over sometimes. And I just, that so many people would love to go from good to great in their lives, right? So what am I proud of? I'm proud that this is the last week of my 3-month women-centered coaching masterclass. At the end of this masterclass, I'll have a certificate in the women-centered coaching method from Claire Zammit, Dr. Claire Zammit. A very interesting and awesome program that complements Mary's work completely. And I'm really excited because I can see how I can use pieces of this to nuance and improve my coaching with women in my Dreambuilder and my Life Mastery consulting practices. So anybody wants more information about that, that's great. I may end up offering a free masterclass once I'm certified in December for anybody who's interested. But in the meantime, I just am really happy and grateful to who have gotten the information and have gone through the work. It has helped me personally to develop myself, because I'm realizing that there were a whole lot of barriers and paradigms that women have specifically that were affecting me, including invisibility. And so here I am trying transparent and positive and stepping out of being invisible. So I'm pretty proud of that. Go ahead and type in the chat what you are proud of. See if we can share a few proudness. Kristina, good to see you again from Greece. Appreciate you being here. Oh, awesome. Jason, good to see you. How is Idaho? Wow, I'm really glad to see you here. How's it going? Yeah. Okay, well, maybe at the end as we do some Q&A and we chat, maybe we can get an update from him. He is happy and grateful for his new auto body position. Yep. Yep. Dream achieved moment for him. Absolutely. Congratulations. Yeah, I'm proud of you too. Let's see. Keith, hi. Nice to see you. Welcome to one of my programs. Yeah, I'm grateful that you're here also, and I'm proud of you for taking action. Good job. Good job. Wendy from Colorado. Awesome. Wendy's been one of my partners in Believing for a long time, and I have seen miraculous things happen for her. She's achieved travel and health and relationships and money, and she just continues to live in abundance. So welcome, Wendy. Wendy is grateful to be spending the holidays with her family. Awesome. Proud of herself for staying on the flow. Awesome. Yeah. Great. Thank you guys for sharing in the chat some of your gratitudes and proud ofs. I'm excited that you're all here doing this with me today. Now, we're going to add one more thing to this, okay? And that is based on those, as you look forward at your week, what is one thing that you want to be proud of next week that you will have accomplished this week, despite the fact that it's the holiday, or maybe because it's the holiday, that will be a needle mover for you. Okay, I want you to set an intention for what is one small but actionable, it might even not be small, but what is one actionable step that you can take today, hopefully, or this week, in order to move you forward in your life toward your dreams. Okay, what is that thing? I want you to think about it for a quick moment. Then I want you to write it down. What is that action? And once you've written it down on your own piece of paper, let's put it in the chat. Share with us. What are you going to do? Have a great holiday with your family. Maybe for some of us who wouldn't prefer to be alone, but we will be alone. Maybe we will be setting an intention to have a high vibration Thanksgiving. That's what I'm doing. Yep. We'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second. But what is it that you want to do this week? You want to be able to accomplish the work that you would normally accomplish for the full week in the holiday week. That's a great goal. Okay. How are you going to do that? What are the action steps you need to take? Maybe what's the first action step you need to take? Perhaps it's just to sit down with your calendar and say, okay, what are the big rocks that I need to do today, do this week, Monday through Wednesday, that I would normally do Monday through Friday? And how could I get them done in those 3 days? And maybe leave aside some of the gravel and the sand, right? Pick out the most important things that you need to get done and schedule those in your calendar and do it right away. Now, do it after my coffee calibration, of course, because I want you to continue to pay attention to what we're talking about. but I want you to really help prioritize your day. Now, do you know what I mean when I say rocks? I'll give you a quick analogy. Teacher goes to her classroom and she sets on the desk in front of the students a large glass jar. Also on the desk are several piles. One is a pile of larger stones, one is a pile of smaller gravel, and one is some sand, and there's a pitcher of water. And she starts by putting all of the big rocks in the jar. And then she asks her students, is the jar full, when she can't get any more rocks into it? And they say yes. And she takes the gravel and she pours it in, and it all kind of settles in around those rocks, right? And fills those inner spaces, and now the jar looks more full. And she asks again, is the jar full? And the students say yes. So then she picks up the sand and she pours the sand in, and the sand sifts in and it fills in the inner spaces between the gravel. And once she does this, then she turns to the students and says, is the jar full? And now they say, yes, the jar is now full. Then she picks up the pitcher of water and pours the water in. And once she does this, she says, no, now the jar is full. Now, had she poured the water into the jar first, or the sand, okay, and then tried to put the big rocks in later, the big rocks representing the most important things that you need to do this week, okay, if she had put in playing video games, watching Netflix, hanging out at the water cooler, having coffee, BSing with your friends, okay, what are the big rocks that need to get accomplished in order for you to have a full week of work in the next 3 days? Okay. Think about it. And even if you can get 75, 80% of them in, isn't that awesome? Because otherwise, what do? We go back to default thinking, to common hour thinking, and we decide, oh, well, I guess I'm just going to lose the work that I would normally do on those other 2 days. And you have a normal day on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then next Monday you come in and you're harried, right? You're all upset and you're busy because you have 2 extra days worth of work to do. When if you had helped pick up the most important pieces of that work and scheduled them into this week, or maybe into next week, but made sure that the key things were really already covered, then it's just a nice 2 days off, no stress, no harassment on either side, and isn't a better holiday that way? Anyway, just thinking, what is it that you can do today in order to pick one thing that will move the needle for you? Okay. Now, this being the week of Thanksgiving, I am actually going to talk a little bit about not only gratitude, but the importance of engaging in a next level giving experiment, this being Thanksgiving. Okay. We're going to be talking about giving thanks. We're going to be talking about giving a few other things. But I just want you to make sure you've got your big to-do scheduled. Okay. When are you going to do it? Awesome. So let's just quickly review. I'm going to have a little taste of my coffee. Wet my whistle. If gratitude is the frequency that is harmonious with abundance, then we amplify our gratitude through next level giving. Transformational, life-giving gratitude is a chosen, cultivated way of living. When we practice and live into brave thinking principles every day, like being a person of increase, we are giving without the expectation of getting. Okay? We give to live and bring good not only to ourselves, but the world around us. And isn't that living a fulfilled life? Now, I'm sure you've heard this. From abundance, we scoop abundance, and still abundance remains, right? That means that when we give, there's not less in it for us. Common hour versions of giving might look like only giving on certain occasions, like birthdays or holidays. While there is nothing wrong with this kind of giving, this kind of giving is tied to circumstance. Okay. Tangible gifts are objects like gift cards, jewelry, etc. Intangible gifts are things like compassion, kindness, time, respect. Are you paying attention to both types of giving? When we spend time with each other, we give each other the gift of time. Our listening is one of the greatest gifts we give when we listen authentically without correction. This kind of giving generates life-giving circulation, and gratitude is breathing in and breathing out throughout this process, just like we do here. So this Thanksgiving, can you practice listening? As you're sitting and listening to your Aunt Mabel rattle on about something that you've heard a million times, okay? Can you give her the gift of authentic listening? That would be a great gift, okay? And as you're doing it, and it may not be a circumstance that you prefer, engage in your brave thinking breath. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth like you're blowing through the straw, and bring yourself into the current moment. Now, the primary spiritual law that governs the entire universe is the law of vibration. Next level giving is the vibration we become a match for by being a next level giver. The real gift in becoming a real next level giver is what happens in us through the next level vibration that becomes a different level of giving. So what that means is, I need to quit reading and just tell you, when you give more, your vibration raises, right? Giving always precedes and predetermines the reception, whether we're giving our thought, our word, our service, our deed. This means the quality of our give is a match to the quality of what's coming our way. Okay? The more we give, the more we receive, the law of receiving. Now, the impulse to give is universal. It's in our nature to be expanded through giving. But common hour thinking often tells us that we give to get, right? We give to get. In other words, when we give to others, we might expect something in return. Giving to get is a very low vibration. Now, another common hour way of giving is giving with strings. For example, we might call a friend and expect them to call us back. When we do this, we're measuring our giving with the expectation of something coming back to us. As brave thinkers, there is another level of giving, and that is to give to live. If we would love more abundance in our lives, then we become a person of increase. Being a person of increase means living with the intention to leave increase in every part of the way we pass through life. Smiling, giving an encouragement, anything that we can do, right? When we are walking down the street and we smile and greet each of the people that we walk by, we're being a person of increase, and we are giving. We're giving that person acknowledgement and a positive energy that they are worthy of being greeted. And I'll tell you what, every person who greets you will be at a higher vibration as a result of it. You will make their day better by greeting them. Smile at them. Say hello. Say happy Thanksgiving. Say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you would like to say, Kwanzaa, whatever. Greet them. Okay? And when you acknowledge people, you make them feel good about themselves. Okay. When we leave the impression of increase, what that means is that people are uplifted and we will have better interactions with them, not only now, but in the future. And it doesn't cost us anything, but it makes us feel good and it makes them feel good. And it's a way of life that can help you feel happier all day long. Okay. I remember the first time I went to New York City to visit my aunt. I was in the 8th grade. And my parents sent me to stay with my aunt there as a vacation experience, and we went all over the place. But I'll never forget that I arrived there from Colorado, and I was walking down the street and I was greeting everybody, right? Now, it didn't help that I was a 14-year-old girl wearing a cowboy hat because it was the urban cowboy era. But I have to tell you that I was surprised when everyone ignored me. I think one of the things I really like about living in the West and living in Utah and Park City area where I am now is because everybody is so friendly. They don't care whether they know you or not. They greet you. Okay. It's a huge difference in vibration. Right. So giving generously matches receiving abundantly. And so if you are striving to receive more abundantly, then you need to be giving more generously. Now, many of us think that when we have more, we'll give more. But this kind of thinking is like looking in a garden and saying, when you give me a crop, I'll plant you. Next level giving is planting a field that isn't giving us anything. But when we give to live, we are spreading our good to the world, because giving isn't just about money. We give through our attitude, our kindness, our caring, and our interest in other people. When we give without expectation of return, with no strings attached, the infinite returns it to us. We can't give more than God. He's got a bigger shovel. Okay. Give it, and it shall be given unto you. Full measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. That's Luke 6:38. Okay. If we give with constraint, constraint will be our reward. If we give with freedom and love are our reward. The basket of good that we have now isn't big enough to hold all the good that is seeking us. By setting the seeds of giving, all kinds of things are already being drawn to us, and it won't fit into the container of good. In spirit, there's no lack. Spirit is ever seeking a fuller, freer, more expanded version of itself by means of itself. And that means through every one of us. Okay, each and every one of us. In spirit, there is abundance, freedom, and flow. And in you, there is abundance, freedom, and flow. Now, next level giving means that whatever we're giving is not only good for us, but good for others. Giving all the way around to create a circle of giving good. Okay. Now, some people give in a martyrdom way because they feel like they have to, right? This kind of giving comes from a place of constraint, limitation, and struggle. Okay. Often church tithing might feel that way. At least it's perceived that way, maybe by people who don't actually tithe, right? But that's certainly, a great example of that. Okay. The spiritual law that says there is no private good tells us that if we think it's good for us, it must be good for others. Life is giving us the gift of every day, and we get to determine what we're going to do with the gift of every single day. Giving is the first fundamental law of creation. We were so loved that we were given this life. We didn't create ourselves or earn this life. We were given this life. If we give with the expectation of return, we are narrowing our lane of good to be a transaction. Brave thinkers give and then release that gift to the world. Now, if you focus on getting, your mind is going to be paralyzed by a condition where we're thinking from a place of lack. Okay? Common hour thinking keeps us stuck in a place of lack because we are thinking from circumstances, situations, and conditions. Next level giving gives us access to the next level of receiving. The first place we build that next giving is opening our mind up to that possibility that is seeking us. We don't have to know how it will happen. We just need to know what it is that we would love. Okay. So when we focus on what it is that we would love, we're focusing on being a next level giver. If we would love abundance, then we plant our good in the field of giving. Okay. We're sending seeds of good out into the world with no expectation of getting anything back. We create a pattern of greater good through our giving. Now, in the process of giving, we find a value in ourselves and a different feeling about ourselves as being a person of increase. Giving is about how we show up in our daily lives, and it will make you feel good about yourself. Okay? Give it to live puts us on a vibration that is highly attractive to good. Now, when we amplify our levels of giving, what we have increases. Increase produces increase. Common hour thinking focuses on getting, while brave thinking focuses on receiving. Gratitude and giving go together. We don't only focus on giving, okay? We have to also be grateful for our giving. Gratitude puts us on the vibration of abundance, and giving seeds the field potential, right? For life-giving circulation, gratitude is breathing in and giving is breathing out. Gratitude is breathing in and giving is breathing out. Okay. What are some examples of next level giving? Some things that you ought to just kind of keep in mind for daily practice. And you might want to write these down. One of these days, I might actually prepare slides for these talks. I often am talking almost extemporaneously. I have some basic bullet points, but I love to just really share what inspires me in the moment as well. The next level giving opportunities that you can start to practice this week are to give without keeping score. Okay. Give without expectation. Give attention. Give compassion. Give the benefit of the doubt. It's a little more challenging of one. Give the benefit of the doubt. Give a true compliment. Give to live. I'll read those one more time. Give without keeping score. Give without expectation. Give attention. Give compassion. Give the benefit of the doubt. Give a true compliment. Give to live. Now, one way we can give to others is through praise. Speaking praise out loud versus just thinking it amplifies it. Okay? The word praise and raise go together. When we praise others, we raise our vibration and their vibration. Okay? So praise to raise both of your vibrations. Right? So I hope you're all still keeping your gratitude and appreciation journals. One of the things that you might want to track in there for this week as well is how you're doing in your next level giving experiment. How's this going for you? Is it something that resonates? Have you been able to practice it? What are some ways that you give? Might be helpful for me to give you some examples of how I give. Not all of my donations can be financial and not all of them are substantial, but here are the ones that I have. Okay. I give plasma as often as I can because I'm an AB positive blood type. My plasma is universal and it can be used for cancer victims and for trauma victims universally. And there's always a huge shortage of AB positive plasma. And so I go to the Red Cross down in the valley and I give plasma as often as I can. And I feel like I'm giving back. You know, one of the reasons I decided to start giving plasma is because my dear friend Russ, a few years ago, had stage 4 cancer. And I went to visit him in the center where they were keeping him. He was in a rehab center because he was so weak. And I said, Russ, what can I do for you? And he said to me, go give plasma. Because the Saturday before, he'd had a crisis after his chemo treatment, and he had to have 32 units of plasma pumped into him, and it saved his life. I took that to heart, and I am so happy and grateful that I have the ability to give plasma for people that truly need it, and I can save lives. And for me, that's a huge way for me to give. People have asked me, why don't you go down to one of those plasma centers and just donate and get money for it? And the truth of the matter is, when you do that, they don't use it for medical purposes. They use it to make cosmetics, they use it to do research, but it's actually illegal for them to put the blood that they've paid for into the medical system. You cannot pay for body parts for medical purposes. You cannot pay for a new kidney, for instance. So, same thing. So for me, it's more important for me to give back and to be able to provide my plasma for people who truly need it. Another way that I give back is, of course, as a Rotarian, I am, my dues has a portion of it that goes regularly into the Rotary Annual Fund to support important Rotary projects in all of the areas of focus. And I appreciate that donation. Probably talk about it in February. I'll have been a Rotarian for 30 years. And the small amount of money I've been able to give over that period of time has actually increased and increased. And I recently received recognition for a level of donating that I hadn't realized I'd achieved. So I was appreciating that too. But it wasn't about that award. It was about the fact that all of those dollars that I've donated over almost 30 years have made a huge impact in the world, right? The third place where I give my money is, for the last several years, I have been sponsoring a young girl in the Philippines who goes to a private school. She's from a very poverty-stricken town, very poor family. But my $19 a month keeps her in a private school, gives her the school supplies, a uniform, everything that she needs to thrive, meals to eat during the day. And over the past 4 years that I've watched this beautiful young lady grow, she is learning and blossoming, and I am making a true impact in someone's life for just a few dollars. $19 would be what I would spend going out to dinner some night. And instead, I'm providing a future for a young lady. Right? To me, that's the greatest gift I can give. I try and practice all the other things I've talked about, smiles, the compliments, etc. But I just invite you to step into this today and say, where is one more place where I could give? Now, we talked a minute ago about tithing being something people feel obligated to do. I don't feel like you have to do that. What makes you feel good? What makes you feel expansive? What is your passionate desire to create? Is it to help children? Is it to help animals? Is it to, I don't care, copy me, go give blood, give plasma, give platelets, whatever it could be, donate your time, volunteer. There are lots of places over the holidays that need volunteers to help run food programs and so forth, right? What can you do with your higher level giving? What is your next level giving experiment going to be for this? Live into being a person of increase. Over the holidays, you're spending Thanksgiving with your family and friends. Listen better, give compliments, be compassionate, right? Don't have expectations. If you take people gifts, don't expect gifts back, whatever it is. Okay. How can you be a person of increase? Now, I'm going to give you a different option for those of us who are not going to be spending Thanksgiving practicing these next level giving techniques with our family and friends. We're going to be home alone. Give a next level giving opportunity to yourself. And that is, I'm going to be offering this week several The Power of Your Vision workshops, a free complimentary hour or so long workshop where we will help you create through gratitude and a few other principles, something that you would love. I don't know about you, but for me, I would prefer to not be spending my holidays alone. Since I was divorced 15 years ago, I've spent the majority of my holidays alone because my circumstances, conditions, and situations in my life were never in alignment with what I needed in order to have people to spend time with or to be able to travel, right? I had either no boyfriend, nobody around, my parents living on the East Coast, me in the West, not having the time and money freedom, a job that let me out of work for long enough, right? A lot of things caused me to be home alone. And for those of us who are going to be home alone, let's not be alone. Let's get together. Let's talk about what it is you would really love in your life. And I'll give you some next steps that you can take in order to start to create it, in order to change this situation in your life, right? Next level giving means giving yourself the gift of an opportunity to change the results that you're having in your life, because your thoughts create your feelings, create your actions, create your results. If you want different results in your life, okay, let's start to change your thinking. Let me teach you the 3 keys that you need to know in order to change your thoughts and change your life. I will put the link to these vision workshops in the link when I put this video on YouTube. Additionally, obviously you can always PM me, put your email address in the chat if you want me to send you the link. But I invite you to come and participate, and let's create a new life moving into 2025, which you would absolutely love. Okay. And let's do it this week. Okay. Let's make this the most impactful Thanksgiving you could ever have. Okay. Questions, comments. Okay. Like I said, if you want that link, drop your email in the chat. I'll save that and send that to you after I get off. Any questions? Okay, well, maybe share some of your ideas of places where people can give. Where do you give? What are your most important charities? Right. Okay. Your church. Okay. Cancer Society. Local animal shelter. I round it up every time I drive through Panda Express. Absolutely. You know, they do that here too. They ask when I go through the drive-through for my teriyaki chicken. They say, would you like to donate $1 to the Children's Hospital at the University of Utah? And I say yes. Right? It's $1. Do I notice it? No. Is it being a person of increase? Yes. Mhm. Political donations, not sure those are actually giving, but honestly, if you're giving to a cause that really is important to you, that might actually be, absolutely, you're being a person of increase. You are putting your energy where you want it to flow, right? Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not seeing any questions per se. I just want to make sure that everybody is good. Okay. Excellent. Well, with that, I am going to wrap this up and invite you to join me every Monday morning at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. Copy calibration with me, Kristina Swanson, your life mastery consultant, dream builder coach, and soon to be women-centered coaching method certification, whatever. I am here to serve you. I am here to help you become a better you and to live a life that you would absolutely love. Okay. Take your action steps that you outlined today. What is the next best thing you can do for yourself? Have you got it in your calendar? If not, write it in there right now and get started today. Put those big rocks in place. Have a fantastic week. And I look forward to hearing how this experiment in next level giving has gone for you this week. Let's see how you can raise your own vibration by participating and becoming a next level giver. Thanks for joining.